Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Sorry, I meant to say WhatsApp channel. Travel with us. Hey guys, welcome to my video.
Hello, hello.
And that's my husband in the background, behind the scenes.
Yeah, talk
Because we are a production team.
yeah. Okay.
Live.
Let's focus.
Let's focus. Disclaimer, this is not a YouTube channel. It's a YouTube video. It's a video that happens to be on a YouTube platform. And this is because I was trying to think, where can I post this video? If I do it on WhatsApp, it will be too many full stops. And then I'm not on Instagram. I don't like Instagram anymore. So I'm not on Instagram. I couldn't have done it there. And this was my other option. So I decided to shoot this video, post it on YouTube, but it's not a YouTube channel yet. Ooh, my husband.
Zing, zing, zing.
My husband says I'm gonna get addicted. I said no, this is a once off. Anyway, for those who don't know me, my name is Manda. This is assuming that my WhatsApp contacts are gonna share this video for people who are interested in traveling.
I can like, share, and comment and subscribe.
Please like my video. You don't have to subscribe because it's not a channel, but please like it and engage with me because I'm here to engage with you. But let's just get back to why are we doing this video. For those who don't know why we're doing this video, my husband and I recently traveled to Europe. So we were country hopping, and yeah, so we took along our WhatsApp contacts with, and we got to travel together, and we received a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, okay, a lot of questions that are the same. Big ones being, how much? Which agent did you use? Those were the many common questions. And then I had a few like very specific, detailed questions that I'll also go through. So yes, my husband and I recently went to Europe. We started with the UK, then went to France, and then we went to Barcelona, and then had a 9-hour layover in Dubai. So we went into the city, Dubai, for a few hours before we departed. Right. Where do I want to start? How we chose the countries we went to. There was no science behind that. Like, we literally, firstly the UK, because my sister is based that side, so it was a family visit in addition to it being a touristy visit. So UK was family based or family motivated. France was like, duh. You have to go to France. You have to see the Eiffel Tower. I mean, and then Spain was, I don't know, Spain was a random pick. And for me personally, I think Spain was an all-rounder. I enjoyed it wholesomely. Baby, which one was your fave? Do you have?
Order, top 3,
Even though it was 3, unless you want to count Dubai.
Spain, Barcelona. France.
Sure.
Eiffel Tower, night. And no, UK.
Number 2.
Yeah. UK.
So we've got Barcelona being in Spain, and then we've got the UK.
The Etihad experience.
So my husband went to the Etihad Stadium in Manchester City.
And France.
And then France.
The night of the Eiffel Tower.
the night of the Eiffel Tower, the night of the butternut. If you know, you know. If you watched our perfect wedding back in the days, you will know what the night of the butternut is. Okay, so we went to those countries and there was no science in choosing the countries. So I'm just gonna give an overview of how the planning of this trip went by. And my husband wants me to emphasize that if you are married, it's important that you plan these things with your partner. You don't do things outside of your partner. Is that the correct? You know, okay, there's a scripture that says, can two walk together unless they are in agreement? So what I'm trying to say is that if you are in a covenant, if you are married, it's important that you do things in agreement. You walk together through this planning. It mustn't just be one person wanting to do this thing and the other is not yet party to it or keen to do it or ready or whatever. Yes, did I articulate that? I'm gonna speak to my producer and my director every now and then, aka Hab's husband. So what we're trying to emphasize is unity and togetherness, because that is what marriage is. The two have become one. I'm not saying that if I want to go to Greece, I must go with my husband. If I want to go to Zanzibar, I must go with my husband always. Even with that, there must be an agreement that, oh, okay, baby, you want to go to Greece? Okay, you go ahead. So whatever decision that's taken in the home must be a decision that both parties have agreed to, whether you're doing it together or as one party. There has to be an agreement. Thanks. So we started planning this trip beginning of this year, and we started saving for it in March of this year. One of the questions I received was whether we saved a lump sum and then started like making payments towards the trip, or whether we were like saving on the go, like putting money. Does that make sense? Basically planning on the go without a lump sum already ready for the trip. So what we did, we did not do the lump sum part. We did the saving and paying as you go. So we started planning the trip in March, and then started putting money away in March. And then I started then planning the trip. Another question we received is whether we booked the trip or planned the trip through an agency. No, we didn't do that. It was never really a consideration or something that crossed our minds. So yeah, we planned the trip. We planned the trip, all of it, start to finish, no nothing. So in March, we started putting away money. We had opened up a Discovery account to specifically hold money for that trip. So when we started putting away money, that's when I started now looking for flights, accommodation, and when I was tracking flights, I saw that the prices of flights really fluctuate, and my anxiety was, my dear, buy the flights now. Right now, in the name of now. So I told my husband that, listen, the prices are getting a bit scary now. One moment it's this, the other moment it's this. Can we buy the flights now? So what we did, because what we had put in our Discovery account in March was not enough to necessarily cover our return flights for the both of us, thankfully we had another fund that would be able to cover that. So we then decided that we're going to dip into that fund and then we'll replenish it as we go along. So we dipped into that flight to get our money to buy the flight tickets. So we bought our return tickets through or with Emirates, and we didn't buy directly on the Emirates site. There's an app called Skyscanner, and I think buy your flights there. There's cheap flights, there's what Skyscanner, I recommend, highly recommend. Please buy please consider buying your flights via Skyscanner. So we bought our flights. A return was 16,266 for one person. So in total, it would have been 16 times 2 is 32, around 32. So we bought that flight. So it's a flight from South Africa to London with a layover in Dubai, and then from Spain to South Africa with a layover in Dubai. 4 flights in total, but basically you're buying every 10, forget the layover, every 10. I hope I'm making sense. And then we had to buy the flights for moving between the countries. So we bought from Skyscanner again, we got AirFrance. We used the airline AirFrance from the UK to France, and that flight wasn't bad actually. It was a one-way. Do one-way in South Africa? Okay. I don't know. Boma late. One way. If I'm going to Cape Town, I'd be paying. Anyway, Air France was one way was 2.6, so that's 2 people, 5. Oh, I'm a lawyer, guys. Even basic maths, simple maths. 2.6 times 2 is, y'all got the answer. And then from France to Barcelona, we decided to use a high-speed train. Exciting. It was actually quite a long one. We thought it's going to be high speed. It is high speed nonetheless, but we didn't realize that the distance between France and Spain, Barcelona, is quite long. So that train was like 6 hours long. It's like me going from Johannesburg to Musina. That's long, but it's fine. We weren't driving, we were chilling. It's like, yeah, it's like Johannesburg to Musina with a Gautrain. You get it. It's comfortable. It's fast. There's Wi-Fi inside the train. There's a little tuck shop, something you can go get food. It has charging points. So it's Gautrain on it. That's right. And that train for each person, it was 2,208, and we bought that on, there's an app called Omnia, OMNIO, Omnia. That's where we got the train tickets from. And that's it on the, so the biggest question I received was how much should people put away? So I'm not gonna put it as a whole number because, well, maybe at the end I'll put like it cost this much, but I'm gonna basically do a breakdown. So if you're interested, you can write down the numbers as I go. An Emirates return was 16,000. Air France was 2,000. High speed train was 2,000 as well. Yeah. But you can speak.
What's it, Omnia? Or I felt it's like a O at the end. Omnio.
Sorry guys, I meant to say Omnio, not Omnia. So OMA. So my spelling was correct. It was my pronunciation. I bought the train tickets on an app called Omnio. Yes, thanks to my producer and director. Next up, after we had secured transport, we then started looking into visas. So for the UK visa, we applied at TLS. It's based in Santon. I can't remember what TLS stands for, but you can just Google TLS. That's where you basically book for your appointment and you get a date. And with that date, there's a list of documents. I've found that in my research. I don't know why, I could be wrong, and this was probably our experience, but I found visa applications to be the easiest, most seamless things. Nothing complicated, because we booked an appointment on TLS. We get a document that sets out the documents that they require, like bring your passport. Do you have a flight ticket? Do you have accommodation? Are you going to visit for tourism purposes, or are you visiting family? If you're visiting family, you need a letter from the people you are visiting, them saying that, basically confirming that these people are coming to us. So we went for both purposes, tourism and family. So we got a letter from my sister and her husband. Guys, easy things. As soon as you book an appointment, you get a letter with what you need. They're not specific. I remember there's a part where they say proof of funds, and they don't list what proof of fund you should provide, but you provide whatever you have as proof of fund, because we are not entrepreneurs. And maybe it's more difficult for freelancers or entrepreneurs to provide proof of funds, but because we work, we are employed, we then give them our number one, banking statement. Number two, we gave them our what do you call that, a pay slip. We gave them proof of employment that we are employed. I remember we just went the extra mile and asked our employers to prepare a letter, basically to say that we will come back to South Africa. We're not there in the UK to stay. We will come back. So our employers prepared letters for us that we also submitted as part of proof of employment. There's also another section that requires proof of employment, so not under proof of funds. So under proof of funds, you just give whatever you can that proves that you have money. I also thought that when you're giving your banking statement, your balance must be a flourishing balance. That thing don't matter. You can give them your banking statement and you have R1 left, and it's fine. As long as they can see that there's a 10 rands that came in and this is where it went to. So you have proof of money that comes in. What your balance is by the time you submit it is irrelevant. So for those people who think that if we give them for the past 3 months, hey, the closing balance was shaky.
Yeah.
So that's that. Visa application was seamless. It was quick. They told us in 2 to 3 weeks your visa will be back, and that was the case. 2 to 3 weeks, it was back. I think it was back just at the 3-week mark with us. And then after applying for the UK visa, we then applied for the Schengen visa. Now, Schengen visa covers... I just had tea, bread, and avocado. And one thing about bread. Does this happen to you guys? I burp a lot when I have bread. Bread is not good for me. Anyway, where was I, baby? I'm talking about, we got our UK visa. Now it's time to apply for the Schengen visa. And the Schengen visa covers a number of the European countries. I don't know why UK is not part of the Schengen countries. It would have been easier, but it was easy anyway. So for Barcelona and for France, we didn't have to apply separately. They're both countries that fall under the Schengen states, Schengen countries. So we went to apply at Capago. Capago, you apply there for your France visa, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they only cover, I don't want to say only, because I could be wrong. Do you remember any other flag when we went to Capago? It was just France. Yeah, I could be wrong, but we applied at, so Capago is also another visa center. For us, we didn't have to go to an embassy with both with both visa applications. It was centers that act as agents for the embassies. So the UK embassy uses TLS, and then the France embassy uses Capago as their middleman. Because you can imagine going to an embassy, high security places, and sibaningi siyaplaya. I think it's a security measure. I could be wrong, but I think it's a security measure. So they just bridge that security by putting a third party that will do the dealings. So you go there to basically submit documents, and then they send the documents to the embassy, and then the embassy sends back the documents to them, and then you go receive them from there. So same with the Schengen visa. We applied there because when you apply for a Schengen visa, because Schengen covers a number of states, you have to apply at the embassy or visa center from where you'll be staying the longest, or where you'll be entering first. So with us, we stayed in France and in Barcelona for the same number of days, so we could have applied easily at either one. And then France was our first point of entry, so we decided to go with Capago for France. That's also based in Saint-Ouen. And we applied, and that was, I didn't give prices for the UK visa. The UK visa was 2,355 rands per person. And then for the Schengen visa, it was, we paid, when we were booking our appointment, we paid 638, and we were like, yo, the difference with UK was 2,000, and with Schengen it's just 600 nyana. No. We arrived, we did our things, take pictures, hand in your passport, time to pay, 2,000 my dear. So another, they were 2,100. So yeah, I guess 200 less than the UK visa. But yeah, if you're budget around 2,000 for your visas. And that was that with visa. And now on accommodation. So with the UK, we spent one night at a hotel, and we booked, I don't know if it was part of London Central. I don't know how London works. I don't know, but we went far from, I don't know. I just know we were part of Central London.
So what is this?
I'm explaining accommodation in London. So I'm explaining where were we? So we were in Holborn. Those who are familiar with London will tell me if Holborn falls part of London Central, because it's definitely not London North or London, you know. I think it's... So we stayed there for one night, wasn't far. So the point I want to bring across with accommodation in all three countries is that I don't think it matters where you stay, because public transport, that's if you're going to use public transport, which is something that we did, loved it, highly recommend it, love it, okay? Accommodation is close to public transport, and public transport is so efficient. It doesn't take long to get to places. Like every place was just like walk for 5 minutes to the bus station or the train station. Train has, you're gonna be in the train for like 5-10 minutes, you've arrived at wherever you want to go. So yeah, London, we spent one night in Holborn, and for the one night we paid 4,140. This was at the Z Hotel in Holborn, because I think the Z hotels have chains all across. So we stayed in the one that's in Holborn, and that was 4.1. And then for the rest, so we were there for we were in the UK for 3-4 nights. So the one night was spent at a hotel, and then the other nights we then went to my sister and her husband's place in Leeds, and accommodation there was about £0.
Or £0.
£0. This is ignorant of me, very ignorant. You guys are gonna judge me, and it's fine. But I thought like Europe uses the euro, but UK obviously uses the pound.
I thought so too.
You thought so too, right? Yeah, in our heads we were
I
like,
actually forgot about the pound.
yeah, but it makes sense, obviously. So yeah, we were using the pound there, and then in the other two countries it was.
Wait, why does it make sense? Tell me more.
I think it just makes sense because Queen Elizabeth is Queen Elizabeth. And every time at work when I do transactions, we use GBP, and that's applicable to the UK.
Also, it's obvious because you've seen.
Yes. So for me in transactions, and it's a trans-border transaction, GBP is a currency that we use for countries, or a transaction that involves the currency.
And
that's
you went to the country.
Now I went to the country, and I'm thinking it's the
where the euro is.
It's the euro side, but no, we are here. I hope you can see my attempts at drawing. But nonetheless, the euro is 2 or 3 rands stronger than the pound. Yeah, so it was not like a.
But the real question is how strong it is against the rand.
Yeah, the real question is how strong it is against the rand, not GBP against a euro. Against a rand. Woo!
You are still doing.
Saze sahlupheka South Africa.
We are still doing it.
Anyway, I'm on accommodation. Guys, forgive me, I'm all over the place. But those that want a budget, please keep track of these numbers. And then in Paris, we spent 3 nights there, and we booked an Airbnb. So London was a hotel, Paris was an Airbnb. Mind you, the hotel in London was so small. I was so disappointed. Like, hey man, it was small for the price. Like, in South Africa, if you pay 4K for accommodation, best believe it's a house. There, I was in a 1 bedroom, really.
Actually, we don't advise people to get a bigger room.
Okay, that's another thing. We did not prioritize like bigger rooms, bigger hotel rooms or whatever, because the thinking was that we just go there to sleep, and then for the rest of the days for the rest of the day, we in the streets, so it doesn't make sense to spend so much money on accommodation and we're not going to spend a lot of time in that space. So Wusa, I bring back myself. It made sense. It made sense. I mean, in South African rands, I still think 4,000 is a lot, but for them and for what they gave us, whoo, child, it was so small. Like it's like 500. It was like, anyway, it was clean. It was clean.
It was so small. As a couple, we have to be like, baby, excuse me.
It forced us to, be a real couple. Anyway, Paris, we spent 3 nights. Paris generally has small rooms. I think that's I almost called it the culture, but the structure of their buildings, you rarely get a room that is like spacious unless you're paying like, I don't know, 25, 35,000. And we just kids, we just babies, we don't have that money. So in Paris, 3 nights, at an Airbnb, we spent 666 and another 4 sixes, 6,666. That was Paris. And then we went to Barcelona and the accommodation in Barcelona. Listen, I will bash London, I will bash Paris, but Barcelona, darling, giving. Like, maybe I'll insert like a room tour. It's a pity I didn't take a room tour of the other 2 locations, just so that you can see in comparison what the difference is. No, Barcelona was giving. So for Barcelona, 3 nights again, and we spent 11,939 at the Grums Hotel and Spa. I know, man. Even the shower, man. We could take a shower together as a couple. There, you can't, my dear. You can't. So, if you are like someone who space matters, I'd advise you then spend whatever you need to spend. But you'll see a lot of reviews, particularly with Paris. Most reviews will tell you how small the rooms are. And then you just have to be like, you know what, I'm not even going to be in the room except in the evening, and then I'm out in the streets. Yeah, we weren't there to Valamaketini, see and the what, I guess. We were there to, although see a valid Amaketin. I think that's about it. I've touched on the flight costs, I've touched on the visa, I've touched on accommodation, and then so that's how we basically planned. We paid for everything upfront. So by the time we got to these countries, all our activities, accommodation, like everything was fully paid. Our pocket money was for food, transport. That's it. Food and transport. We're not paying any activity. We're not, because that's already been done. And I'd advise you to do that. Like, try where you can to pay for everything upfront so that your pocket money really is for the little things, being transport and food. So for transport, again, we used public transport in all 3 countries. In London, we mostly used the underground train, right? We never got on a bus there. So the underground train, for a day, we paid 33 GBP, and that was and that is 8 in rands. It's 814 for the day. And guys, don't think about it in rands. I mean, like, obviously traveling for the whole day in South Africa for 800 and something is just like, what? But we're not in South Africa. We were dealing with £1 is 20 whatever rands, so you just gotta roll with the punches. So that was London, 814 for one day. The other 2 days where we were in Leeds, we didn't really use much public transport. No, we didn't use public. No, we did. We didn't feel it because my sister and her husband spoiled us. God bless the Tilaus. God bless y'all. And then in Paris, what we did is that we landed at the airport, went to the train station, which is in the airport, and then you know how the Gautrain is at OR Tambo, similar setup. There's a train station. We went there. We bought ourselves a 3-day pass. So again, pay up front, and then for 3 days it's unlimited. You just, guys, you can climb that bus 100 times in a day, but you've paid that 3 days, like it has no limits. I think yeah, that was great. So for a 3-day pass we paid 60 euros. We've now jumped from GBP to EUR. We paid 60 euros, and that is 1.2 rands, 1,200 rands. And then in Spain we did a 5-day pass. So although Spain had 3 nights, it had more days. It had more days because we arrived earlier. Whereas in France we arrived in the evening, so our days were like cut. So we bought a 5-day pass in Spain, and that was 76.40 euros, and then in rands that converts to 1,602. So yes, traveling in London for a day what cost us 814, and that's because we didn't buy like a pass. I think if you buy a pass it works out cheaper than traveling as you go, traveling on a pay as you go basis. That's more expensive. Buy a bundle that will work out cheaper for you, as it did for us. And then another thing, my TikTokers, guys, TikTok is the best place for research. That's where it's at. So TikTok, because I was worried about data on my phone, because I'm a content creator. Hello, I'm a content creator, and I am a WhatsApp content creator. Let's make it clear, I'm a WhatsApp content creator, and so I needed data. And I was like, roaming with a Vodacom is gonna cost an arm and a leg. I don't know how much it costs, but it just sounded expensive. I didn't even bother to look into it. So there's this app called Holafly, eSim. It's spelled Hola, but I think pronunciation in Spain, it's probably like a Spanish company. I could be wrong, but the TikTokers pronounce it as Holafly, but it's spelled, if you're in South Africa, it's Holafly, and it's an eSIM card, an electronic or digital SIM card. So you download the app, or you go onto the Holafly website. You choose a package. So they've packaged their data plans per days. Is that correct? So they have like a 5-day package, a 12-day package, a blah blah blah, all the way to 90 days package. So I chose a 15-day package, and that cost me 983. For 15 days I had unlimited data. For 983 I had unlimited data all throughout. It was like I was living on Wi-Fi. This is why, for my WhatsApp contacts, you could get content at any time from me. So I advise, like, the challenge with it is that it does not, what's the word? It does not pair well with other phones. I'm on Apple, by the way.
Someone wanted to be hot spots.
And my husband is on, you know that brand? That starts with an H. He recently converted to that other brand that starts with an S, which I think is better than the H one, but compatible is the word that I was looking for. The app or the company or the whatever, Holafly, is not compatible with all phones. I could be wrong. Maybe there are things that you can do, but when we tried, it was not compatible with the H phone. And we were like, cool, I can hotspot you. And that's just the downside of it. You can't hotspot with an eSIM. With this particular eSIM, we couldn't hotspot. So unfortunately for him, he could only post.
It was not unfortunate.
Okay.
I was more present. I was taking the moment. So don't shame me. I'm absolutely fine. I'm okay.
He was living in the moment.
But maybe you guys might not.
He was living in the moment. Him not having access to data did not bother him at all. By the way, I was also living in the moment.
Yeah.
FYI.
Yes. A joke about that will be shared sometime later.
Okay.
Of what I will do in the evening.
So during the day, he wouldn't have data. I would have data, and I could be with my WhatsApp contacts all throughout. And then only in the evening, he gets to use the Wi-Fi at the hotel or the Airbnb to post if he has the energy. My husband makes great posts. Those who have him on WhatsApp, please just say yes. DK is a content creator, a low-key content creator of this house. This house, we are content creators. This video is probably long at this point, but it's an info session. They're meant to be long. Kanti. I think the eSIM was the last thing that I wanted to touch on.
Yes. For my Android users.
For Android users?
It's not a disadvantage that you're not using Apple. So...
Okay, my battery was saying it's low, but it kept rolling.
Yeah, you have got touch already.
Okay.
Don't fear this.
Oh, yes.
Don't be like you can't travel because you can't use them.
Let me speak for the Android users. So even though you cannot connect or your phone is not compatible with Holafly, there are other apps actually that are compatible with your phone. Obviously, I don't know them. So unfortunately, you guys would have to do the research yourselves. And the difference with those apps, because we tried them, but I've forgotten their names. I apologize for actually not quickly doing the research before shooting this video. You will find, just type in eSIM and eSIM. There'll be things that come up, and then you'll hopefully find one that's compatible with Android. The only difference with those ones is that you are buying a data package, like you're buying 10 gigs, you're buying 20 gigs. Whereas with iOS, darling, it's unlimited. Give my boss your iOS. Give Steve.
Tim.
Thanks to the boss.
Don't ask me how I know that I know him.
Has he Steve? Oh.
Tim, Apple.
My producer is quickly researching.
Apple CEO. Tim Cook, yes, it was close.
Tim Cook. Thank you to Tim Cook. But thank you to Steve Jobs for the brains, you know? I think that's about it, guys. I think I've covered everything. What this trip... Okay, so I've covered the trip. And I think what this trip made us realize as the Mashiro family as a couple was how you guys, I'm gonna try to distinguish it, how you guys are like keen to actually travel. I think sometimes we see travel content and all we do is sabawell, or envy is not the word, but we dream. You know, it's
Stop there, yeah.
we dream and stop there. We sabawell, but we don't have the urge to action it. And I think a lot of our contacts on WhatsApp, both our WhatsApps, I think we found people saying, yo, we're going to do this. Please give us the information. Please give me the details of your agent. I'm the agent. So I'm happy to help, particularly those who have me on WhatsApp. I'm happy to, yo, hold your hand, because guys, we all deserve, is deserve the word, but we all, where we can, where you can, expose yourself. I think this trip was so good for us individually, so good for us as a couple, and it's become something that we encourage people to do now. Just after one singama expect.
We are not done. We are absolutely
And we're not done. Like,
So,
the
yeah.
travel bug has bitten, and we are keen to, you know, to continue to, we've learned new saving styles that we want to implement in how to plan a trip. So that's something that we're going to sit down and obviously discuss as people who are in a covenant. But yeah, I'm really glad, or we are really glad, that people want to do this. People are not stopping at sabawelling, and I think it speaks to how we made it look accessible. You know, we didn't go there and walk down Diamond Walk, yeah, go Paris, come out with orange green bags. Obviously, it's because we can't afford. We weren't doing it for you. We can't afford. But what I'm trying to say is that even though we couldn't afford that kind of trip or lifestyle, there is a way of traveling that is affordable, that can be done, especially if you have the intention. There's also a misconception that, oh, you guys have good jobs, it's a lawyer and an auditor. Hey. Guys, it has nothing to do with your profession. It has nothing to do with what comes into your bank accounts. Let me not say it has nothing to do. It has something to do with your finances, but that's not the bigger part. I think the bigger thing is intention. Do you want to do this? Cool. Let's plan. Like, I hope it encourages people to put your words into action, to action everything that you do. Be intentional about putting money away, be disciplined about putting it away, be intentional about doing the research. Like, guys, the moment we bought our flight tickets, it was like, it's happening. So buy a flight ticket and then it will be happening. But like, just do one thing that really commits you to this plan. If it means book your accommodation, but just do this one thing and you'll see how it will push you into a straight line of, we're doing this, and you will align your lifestyle, you will align everything to ensure that this trip, international trip, happens. So yeah, I think that's about it. Baby, do you have anything?
Yeah, this one, there's
I hope you guys can hear him.
activities, also probably like other activities that we did, because they
Oh.
don't have to travel to go spend that side.
Yes.
You don't, like you spoke about Diamond Walk, you don't have to travel to go to
go
Louis
spend.
Vuitton to
Louis Vuitton eating more Diamond Walk scenting. Why do you have to go to
do
it?
that. So
Maybe I don't understand
you know what,
luxury girlies.
let's say maybe we don't understand.
We don't understand.
So if you are like us, but you have dreams, okay, you don't have to plan this trip so that you can go. So this pocket money we are talking about, it must not add to the trip taking longer and almost looking impossible.
Yeah.
So you can touch, or I wanted to say you can touch on the activities, type of activities, our choice.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I wanted to say, okay, let me think about it, but you can touch on that.
Okay, cool. So what he's talking about, and maybe it's specific to us as a couple, we're very activity based. So we go to a place and we wanna cycle. And that's what we did in Barcelona. We want to go kayaking and snorkeling. Like, an activity based trip is what we did. But that's because that's what makes us happy. That's what fills our happy tank. And that at least did not impact on our saving, because now imagine if we were like the shopping kind, the saving would have taken longer, because I would need 100,000 or more if I'm going to shop in Paris. Like if I'm going to Paris just to shop, I'm going to need a lot more money, and I'm going to need a lot more saving, especially if we are 9 to 5 people and we have no extra stream of income. And I don't want to get into that a lot, lest we sound like we're bashing people who travel to spend.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remembered, I wanted to say, but you touched on it, guy intention. I wanted to say the fact that we were saving did not disrupt our normal life while we are saving. So we could still do fun activities even whilst we're paying.
Yes.
So yeah, I think we covered the intention and one other motivator being, do go ahead and buy the ticket and your lifestyle is gonna, but that does not mean like it's gonna be strict and you won't eat out and you won't go out for Friday movie nights, or you won't you can, like we
still lived.
We looked at our numbers and we said this is the number we're gonna send on a monthly basis. We stuck to that and still continued to do life, so again, back to that point, couples do have the conversations properly, and the conversation is covered. I want us to save 10,000. Do the work.
Baby, what do you think? How about we
take out your notepads, your calculators? Hey, no, this is too steep for me. I can't. Hey, this is fine. Or what I can sacrifice. For I can see myself living 2,000, 1,000, continue to live my life in 2,000 less kind of lifestyle.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys caught that. I hope you did. But I think the gist of it is that when you decide whether you are in a double income household or you are alone, when you decide to put money away, if you're in 5 rands, don't now put away 30 rands and now you're living like a poverty-stricken lifestyle. What he's saying is that we were able to put away money that we would still be able to live comfortably. We would still be able to go out on dates. We'd still be able to go for movies. We'd still be able to do nice things. And because one thing about this girlie, maybe my husband is better, but me, I don't like a restricted lifestyle. I'm not a high maintenance girl, but I don't like ha gona tšhelete ya KFC, ha gona tšhelete ya eng. So when you do put away money, don't put away so much that now you can't. Now you are complaining when people are asking for transport. You're like, "Laser petrol itura jwang? Do you know how much petrol is?"
We even bought our new clothes.
We bought clothes.
We bought travel clothes.
We bought travel clothes. Sponsored, not sponsored. Yeah, we paid for it. But Shein is your travel girly. I'm always looking at Liesl Mtombeni's. This is Dr. Musa Mtombeni's wife. She's like, for travel, Shein is your girl. And listen, we did that. We bought, if you see all my outfits, most of my outfits are from Shein. A few are from like, what do you call that shop? Foschini. But majority, Shein. Hi guys.
We've been sleeping.
Hi guys. Even my husband is convinced. Like,
We have big boys.
Even for gents, guys, this, I know gents are very brand conscious. Most gents, I'm not saying everyone, most gents are very brand conscious. Me, I'm blessed with a husband. I'm like, baby, come see Shein, come see things. And my husband was very nice. That's a nosy thing to do, but he was so delicious, man. Anyway, this video is probably taking too long. I'm out. I think at the end of the video I'll do a total of how much the main things, because I didn't give you guys how much pocket money we had. Is it something? I guess it differs. For pocket money you can budget around 20 to 30. Because for us it was just transport and transport and eating. So you can budget 20 to 30,000 if that's all you're going to do with your pocket money.
I think you might need to repeat that, because in our planning we bought our tickets, and so our pocket money was for food and public transport.
Yeah.
Why a little bit different for someone else?
Yeah, it may be different for other people.
Because pocket money is known for, buying on the go on the day. So gonna is that transport money and food,
Yeah. Ki carry, C20, C30. I mean, I don't know, it's relative. It may sound a lot in rands, but consider it, think of it after the conversion of the currency. And like my husband said, I must emphasize, this is pocket money for food and transport.
But you know what, I'm remembering those moments where you're in Spain and suddenly you remember this inspiration, and you want to get it, or Pulaya, and then you like, hey, let's get something to cover ourselves there, or unyakoraka souvenir nyana for yourself.
That's true.
Or those small instances like at the airport where we wanted to wrap
your bags.
Our bags.
Yeah.
So pocket money, even for those things, and it's good to have it and to include it in our planning, so that to buy a raincoat does not affect us buying food or
yes
the activities. Now you're out of budget to buy a ticket to something because buying these tickets in advance
saves you.
So another area of discussion is we said activities.
Yeah, I've already touched on it, that book your activities well in advance and not use your pocket money to book. So yes, I may have been very restrictive with the pocket money, that it's just for food and thingy, but there are other little things. In France, there was a day where it rained and then we had to buy raincoat. There was a day where I was like, I want a beret because I'm in France. So we went and bought a beret. If you're a person of souvenirs, you want someone who loves me bought this shirt for me in Paris, in Barcelona, in whatever. Those little souvenirs that you want to give to your families or loved ones when you go back home. You can include those little things in your pocket money. I remember the one thing though that threw us off was the luggage bag. That was an unplanned expense, which I guess our pocket money still covered for it, although it was not like we were not ready to buy a new luggage bag, because quick tip, your bag must be 23 kg. The weight of your luggage bag that you'll be checking into the airport must be 23 kg. Ours was over 23 kg. And Emirates allows you to check in 4 bags. We didn't know this. We didn't know this leaving South Africa. We only found out about this at Spain. The guy was like, you guys can have 4 bags to check in. I'm like, 4 bags? Like, you can have 423 kgs. But you know what? If you are country hopping, why are you having 4 bags? Do you know, traveling with bags from one station, like carrying bags is not nice. So our idea was to have 1 bag to lessen the admin of carrying 1 bag. But that bag was unfortunately was over 23 kg. It was like 33 kg. And Emirates does not, like, there's an allowance that if you are over the 23, you'll pay, they said 1.4. But if you're over 33, they're like, no, we're not taking the bag at all. We can't, we're not allowed. So we had to go buy a new luggage bag at a luggage bag in the airport. So you can imagine the price is also just exaggerated. So we bought a new luggage bag and then transferred some of our clothes to just lessen the load, and then we checked both bags in. That was the only unexpected thing. I want to wrap up. Do you have anything?
I wanted to say, I know it doesn't matter now, but if our people at the airport say, no sis, it's over the limit, just ask that additional question, or no.
Yeah.
Me, I've done my research there by the Mashabo family, and I've heard that the 2 of us have a limit of. And that's how Emirates counted.
Yes.
So can you please just ask that question. Of course, don't fight, because it might ruin the rest of your night or your trip. So don't take it that far.
Yeah.
But maybe if you're not that person, just make a plan to weigh your bag before we are airport.
Yes. Sorry, when I say 4 bags, I mean 2 bags per person. So I'm allowed to check in 2 bags, and my husband is allowed to check in 2 bags. I was about to close. Guys, I'm sorry that this video is long, but also it's because I'm not a YouTuber and I'm not coming back. This is it. This is it. So we had the Dubai layover. I recommend Emirates. I've recommended it on my WhatsApp. I'm recommending it here. The benefits are just wow. I mean, the check-in bag allowance, firstly. Number 2, we planned our layover in Dubai to be 9 hours because we wanted to do an in and out in Dubai. And obviously, it's a new country. We are foreigners in Dubai. We need a visa. For the visa, because I bought the tickets with Emirates, it was free. I just sent an email to Dubai Connect. It's a leg of Emirates. So Dubai Connect sent an email with my flight details, and then capush, I get our visas for free, okay? And that's because we were with Emirates, and that's on period. And then we got there. If your layover is 8 hours or more, you get free accommodation. You get a shuttle that picks you up from the airport, takes you to a hotel if you want to rest for a bit. 9 hours for us was not enough for us to rest, so we just went to the hotel, took a shower, freshened up, had breakfast. It includes breakfast depending on your time of arrival, obviously. So we landed in Dubai at around 5 a.m. Had breakfast, and then went out into the city, which is very hot, very expensive. Listen, 1 dirham to rands is 5 rands, right? That's nothing compared to the GBP, which is 20 something, and the euro, which is 20 something rands. But my dear, I bought a banana for 45 rands on conversion. 45 rands a banana, just a banana. bored. I think that's the last thing. Their pricing is ridiculous. I don't know how people live with the heat there, how people live with the pricing there. It's if you see us go to Dubai, just know that we have made it. That will be confirmation. Dilo di changile, tapelo di lendile. Ne di lendile no actually.
But even if
Dubai tapelo di lendile. Anyway, I had forgotten something. I hope this is the last thing. I don't know why I didn't write it. Somebody asked about travel insurance. So I remember my cousin said I should buy our flight tickets via my Investec bank account, and then I'll get free travel insurance. So I bought the Emirates tickets via Investec, and then immediately after you buy your ticket, the system detects that obviously this is a flight ticket. You get an email with your free travel insurance. And then for the AirFrance, I did the same, but I bought the tickets via our Discovery bank account. And boom, you also get free travel insurance. My thinking is that with every bank, if you buy a flight ticket, an international flight ticket, it comes with travel insurance. Don't quote me when I say with every bank, or maybe I must say we used Investec and we used Discovery, and both of them came with free travel insurance. Now, listen to me very carefully. A thought came, I'm like, but I'm on medical aid. Surely my medical aid should cover me when I go overseas. Surely. So I went on to the app. So both my husband and I are on CAMF. Different CAMFs, not on one account. We need to change that, baby. We need a household talk. So we both on CAMF, and I checked my app to see if I can get travel insurance, if I can arrange for travel insurance. And I saw it's also free. At least on CAMF, it was also free. And I was like, I think I trust like CAMF more, because they are like medical aid. So when we were applying for our visas, the travel insurance, so we had 3 travel insurances in total, and the travel insurance we used was the one we got from our medical aids. And then one final thing, when you are traveling, please inform your bank that you are traveling, because once they detect a transaction outside of South Africa, they could block it because they would think it's like fraudulent activities that are taking place with your card. That bread is still giving me a hard time. So they think fraudulent activities are taking place there. So you have to inform the bank or the card that you will be using. So I'm on Investec. The family is on Discovery. My husband is on FNB. With Investec and FNB, we had to inform. My husband did the chat. I don't know what they call it at FNB, but there's a chat function where you let them know. With me, I had to go to the app, to the Investec app, and then I just put in which days, which countries I'll be at, and then they're like, okay, cool, we've noted it. And then with Discovery, I think all banks should do this. With Discovery, they have already pre-authorized international trips. So I was about to notify them, and then I read that no, there's pre-authorization, and then I was like, let me also call to just make 100% sure. And they're like, no, it's fine. All Discovery cards have been pre-authorized for international travels. I don't know if that's dangerous or that's just forward thinking, but whichever bank you use, make sure you notify them that you will be out of the country and that your card will be swiping outside of the country, just so that they don't block you. I think that's about it. If I've missed anything, guys, please let me know down at the comment section. I will try. I will respond, okay? I will engage with you. If you have me on WhatsApp, please ask me on WhatsApp. If you have my husband on WhatsApp, please ask him on WhatsApp because he's ready to work. Okay, we're here to work. We're here for ministry. We're here for ministry. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.